But what I know is I'm feeling just fine.
My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, man. Chico, Diego Corrales fighting. I want to say Luis Castillo, And I just showed a picture of him when he was on the mat. He got knocked down multiple times, and he went to the corner. And Joe Goosen was like, "You got to show me something." Basically, I'm gonna throw in the towel. If he's busted up. He was swole up, beaten up, and getting rocked. And Joe Goose was like, "You have to show me something." And he got off the canvas and just fought. And to the point he caught Castillo. And he caught him again. Then he caught him again. And they trading, they going back and forth. He caught him again. And then Castillo's just out on his feet. Hands drop, and then the ref calls the fight off. Diego Corrales Chico wins. And, earlier I talked about, sometimes hard work doesn't pay off. And one of the things I got to talk about also is, if you're willing to keep fighting, you can win, And the beautiful thing about watching that clip, because it's an iconic clip in boxing, to me, Chico looked like he looked beaten, but he's not quitting. You get what I'm saying? He's like, got up and got knocked down again, looked up, got up. And he showed me something. I think he got knocked down again and got up, and he's like, showed me something. And then, he just forget it. I'm gonna go out swinging. And all that swinging subsequently, he got a victory from that. And I think a lot of us don't take into consideration that, at the end of the day, we shouldn't quit. Sometimes you getting beaten, you want to quit. Sometimes you getting, it's discouraging. You want to quit. Sometimes things aren't in your favor. You know what I'm saying? You want to quit. But at the end of the day, don't. And the reason why, because if you keep fighting, you can win. I'm not saying you will, I might have said you will in the title. I don't know. But you definitely can. I've seen, as a sports reference, I've seen a lot of fourth quarter comebacks in my life. I've seen a lot of tables turn in my life where people just were like, I'm not doing it. We've seen LeBron come back from 3-1. We've seen the Boston Red Sox come back from 0-3. I mean, LeBron came back from 1-3. But Red Sox came back from 0-3. We've seen miraculous things happen. And the thing about it is, first and foremost, you got to believe that you can do it. You got to believe, hey man, if I fight, I can change this. I can stop this. And even though Chico died years ago, that clip is, for me, just as a boxing fan, is one of the top clips that I watch. Like him and Castillo, and even in the brawl between Hagler and Hearns, where they just came out smoking. Those were some of the most inspiring things because, if you're gonna you got to keep pushing through. If you keep pushing through, you fight. You use tenacity. I grew up in Chicago, West Side. You know what I'm saying? I got the shirt to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Devin, if you see this, you see what it say. But I used to watch the Bulls a lot. I was a Bulls fan before I moved to Chicago when I was in New Orleans. And I wound up moving there, and then I used to see the Bulls come back, 2 minutes left, down 8, a minute left, down 5, and then win. And when people say people got that dog in them, used to watch Joe Montana a lot. He's a comeback king, boy. Like, John Elway, comeback kid. For real. Used to watch people just, not accept defeat. And ironically, to the point, I just started cutting all Bulls games with 2 minutes left. I was like, all right, I've seen this movie 1,000 times. I already know what it's going to be. But there's this story, I don't know how true it is, of Michael Jordan, where one of his coaches, they'd be in practice and his team will go up, say, 10, 12 points. And then the coach will switch them, from the A team to the B team, and then tell them, now you got to come back. And so the practice. So ironically, he was practicing on fighting back to win in the end. That's what he worked on, fighting back to win in the end. That's how it happened. And I realized that when I heard this story years ago, I was like, if you keep fighting, anything can happen. Like anything, like you can. I forgot, is it Yoel Romero, the UFC fighter? He started mid to late 30s, and I'll never forget. I don't know if he was fighting Israel Adesanya or somebody else, but there's this clip of him, and he's basically saying, he just took his glasses off. He said, you can do anything, if you believe, you can do anything, because he's a tank, and it's more inspiring, his story and how he believed in himself and how he kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing to where he's at today. And that's the will to fight. Like, some people go, maybe I'm not good at a lot of things, but I'm good at this. Or maybe I'm not even good at this, but I'm just willing to fight this out. I could have used, as a thumbnail, I could have used Nipsey Hussle when he had that radio interview, and he said, the only distinguishing quality about him is he didn't quit. And that says a lot, like, because a lot of us quit. A lot of us just say, my heart's been broken so many times, I'm done. But if you keep fighting, and actually I saw a clip of Israel Adesanya, after the fight that he just had, and he said, I wish that you can feel the happiness I feel right now, but you're gonna have to go through some stuff to get there. And a lot of times, with the pain of life, if you can fight, you can get to the other side of that, and some great things are on the other side of that, because the alternative is to not fight and give up and then just be stuck in that one space. So, and even if you fight and you lose, you can still hold your head up high and say, I gave it everything. You don't want to say, I'm done. Like, that's gonna haunt you. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take you.